Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden. Welcome to Shifting Perspectives. And if you are new to my channel, I am a sociologist, psychologist, philosopher of 30 years. So, money. I'm recently evaluating the degradation mindset. And while I'm evaluating the degradation mindset, I am also evaluating the logic of money. Because when all else fails, I just default to logic because that makes sense to me. Subconscious mind, and also the ego, the conscious awareness. So I'm looking at my 3 chess pieces on the board. The logic of money, the subconscious mind, mindset, and the conscious awareness. Let's play chess. Mindset determines everything. The subconscious mind is basically a player that is bound to the rules of the mindset, the game rules of the mindset. The mindset are the rules that one must follow logically through life. Yep, that's what I'm sticking with. That's my story. Mindset are the logic life rules, detailed, that depict what the subconscious mind is going to do. When you have toxic beliefs, what you actually have is illogical fallacy inside the mindset that is basically enslaving the subconscious mind to behave a certain way. The subconscious mind is 100% at the mercy of the mindset. The conscious awareness runs off of pure awareness, knowledge, and intent. Intent comes from intuition and identity. I would say intent also comes into account. It's the whole package. It's everything. I would say it's the full 6-part. Because if you're afraid, a fear becomes part of it. If you are abused, that becomes part of it. If you need to keep yourself safe, that becomes part of it. So I want to say intent is the driving factor behind all 6 parts of your mental illness or your mental system that dictate what your motive is. So the conscious awareness or the ego is 100% at the mercy of using the tools awareness, knowledge, and intention. Conscious intention. The consciousness is 100% determined by awareness and education. If it is unaware, it is useless. If it is uneducated, it is useless. The ego is only as strong as the education and the awareness. If you lack education and or awareness, your ego is garbage. You need to get a better one. You can do that by increasing your education and your awareness. Now, Stockholm Syndrome, all mental illness, in fact, but really Stockholm Syndrome, psychological entrapment, are 2 very specific mental illnesses that only work if you are unaware. As soon as you become aware, it breaks the hold. For an example of this, Andrea in The Walking Dead. As soon as that one becomes aware of the governor, she completely changes her tune. Awareness, education is everything. And in order to get awareness, you have to be educated. So, unawareness, lack of mindfulness is 100% a symptom of uneducation. I'm going to be saying that a lot where all of this keeps coming back to uneducation. This is really a battle of intelligence. All right, now going back to this. When you have the game of life, you have your mindset, which is the logic, life rules detailed through the logic that the subconscious mind then has to follow. The ego then has to navigate the subconscious mind, following the rules of the logic. Now, the ego, the conscious awareness has two advantages. The first advantage is with logic, it can change the mindset. And with logic, it can discipline the subconscious mind and redirect it. The best way to discipline and maneuver and manipulate the subconscious mind is by changing the rules of the logical mindset. In order to get money, you have to want money. In order to have love, you have to want it. If you don't want it, you're not going to get it. But we have a mindset that cultivates that money is evil. We have a mindset, I need to clarify because it's not my we anymore. The degradation mindset cultivates a disinterest and a hatred towards money. They have a really fucked up sense of what money is. In addition, there's so much with the degradation mindset. How do I break this down? Money is a direct consequence to your influence on people. It is a measure of influence. Influence, 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 influence. Oh, influence. The capacity to have an effect on the character development or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. Impact. Influence. Authority on something. Influence. In order to get money, you require influence. There are tools that allow you to gain influence. The first tool of influence, is reputation or authority. Reviews. But if you don't have those, data, statistics, testimonials, word of mouth, loyalty, character, back to reputation, value, value. Communication skills, visibility, maneuverability, adaptation. It is an accumulation of all of these things to get influence. Having influence. The more influence you have, the more money you have. Money measures your influence. If you have no influence, you're not going to get money. If you have a lot of influence, you're going to get a lot of money. The more influence you have, the more money you get. If you are starting from scratch and you have zero influence, you're going to have to build your influence. The only way to build influence is already having money or community, networking, building off of reputation among people who can validate you or vouch for your character. This adds to a bank account of influence. The more credit you have in your influence bank account, the more reputation you have. The more reputation you have, the more influence you gain. And then you get money. Poor people do not know this. If they did, they wouldn't be poor. Poor people have no fucking clue about this. If they did, they wouldn't be poor. Poor people have other problems, other obstacles. I'm going to break this down to you. Oh, welcome to logic and psychology. Oh, this is fun. Reputation. If you don't believe in yourself, you sure as hell aren't going anywhere because you have to be the first one to believe in yourself. So the first ingredient of influence is self-value. Good luck with that if you have a religion, because religion completely destroys your self-value. Now, you can have a massive amount of accumulation of any of these variations. You do not need 100% all of them. They do not have to be unanimous. This is how this works. If you have reviews, you have other people who are basically supporting you. If you have data or statistics, you have math now flouting your numbers, which is fantastic. If you have testimonials, it is no different than reviews. You have somebody who is basically passing on, vouching for you. Word of mouth is what leads to testimonials and leads to reviews. Loyalty is linked to how you have impressed other people. This is all networking. But if you have a communication or a people problem due to a mental illness or trauma, you're not going anywhere, because you require to overcome your people problem to network. Oh, this is all about networking. You have to have character reputation. In order to have character reputation, you have to find that balance, that thing that basically pushes you forward into vouching that you have a solid character. Are you ethical? Now, here's the biggest problem with self-promotion. You require the success mindset, which the poverty mindset is absolutely anti. They're absolutely pitted against, because in order to have a success mindset, you have to have ego. But most religions destroy ego. All poverty destroys ego. All low and middle class destroys ego. There is so much destroying the ego in the lower classes that there's no recovery from this unless you become aware of it and overcome it and fight it. But when you fight this, you're going to be fighting the culture. You're going to be fighting the mindset. Oh, I am so going to break this down. And when I do, I'm going to pave the road. Can you do this with religion? Yes, but you need a couple things that are absolutely going to support you and back it up. I'm going to show you how to do this with religion, and I'm going to show you how to do it without religion. It's going to be easier without religion. And in point of fact, the people I've spoken to who have maintained their religion have managed to hold on to it. They basically abandoned the religion but kept the spirituality. That's how they did it. That is exactly how they did it. That is exactly how they did it. They separated religion from spirituality. So they managed to find a way to keep their God and pursue their happiness and success while avoiding the religion. And they found a way to basically, it's a very unhealthy codependent relationship. And like I said, it stunts actual growth. But there's a lot there. Oh, I love Carl Jung's work on theology. Oh my God, do I? Yeah, he was right. I am 100% supportive on Carl Jung's findings on theology. Carl Jung absolutely explained that a religion is a codependent self emotional prosthetic. It is a codependent emotional prosthetic. Period. Now, emotional prosthetic is my word, but the summary of his work on theology is that it is codependence and it is an emotional prosthetic. And once you find a way to there's basically, I'm going to do a whole thing on how to have a religion healthily, because there's a very toxic religious mindset and very healthy religious mindset. And understanding the difference and getting yourself to make sure you're over there with a healthy mindset is where you need to be in order to have growth. And then adaptation, your ability to adapt to the environment and the change, which is something that you do not get at all because with the other mindsets, because you are looking at a stunted growth mindset, because they value comfort more than, oh my God, this is making so much sense. And then maneuverability, your ability to maneuver around change, obstacles, everything that's in your way, everything that comes up is 100% something that you're going to have to basically move and shift around. Your ability to be visible, your ability to communicate. But again, massive amounts of trauma associated with communication. So all of these different things are ways you can build up your influence. The only way out is money or network. If you don't already have money, you need to network. Bottom line, network requires you get over your people problem, your social skills, and your communications. Those are your 3 links to proper networking. You're not going to go anywhere if you cannot love people, socialize, and communicate. And you have to do so genuinely with positive energy. Once you start building up network, you start building a reputation. When you start building a reputation, you get people who validate, which add to your influence. These things then all trickle down and add into your credit, your bank account, your flout. Once you have that, you gain reputation. Once you have reputation, you gain influence, and that is when people start paying you money. Time frame. How strong are your people skills? How strong is your network? Now, I'm going to show you what I did. A lot of people are like, well, you have to know the right people. Correct. So the network to get to the right people. This is how you do it. You show up to a random networking event. It does not matter which one. Now, a networking event is going to have a people 1 through 10, 10 being the top dog, probably the one who owns the networking company. And then everybody else. Your job when you network is to locate the top dog, because that person owns the networking company for a reason. You want to learn his psychology, his or her psychology, and then you want to basically impress that person. Then that person will invite you to the next networking event, a different one, a bigger one, where that top dog is actually lowest on the totem pole. But in that area, there is another top dog, and that's the one you go for. So you keep going to the networking events until you find the next top dog. Then you study them. When you make a pitch, your job is to make a pitch to sell to that top dog, no one else. Your job is to climb the ladder, not to network among everybody else. Still network, but really that's your goal. I recommend you keep access to all of the networks and you keep nurturing those. Then that top dog invites you to the next network. By the way, I did this 4 times. It started with me finding a random Facebook page that then got me over. It was actually called Event Raptors. And then that led me to another one, which led me to another one. I went to Power Pitching, and then I went to JV Direct, and that got me to Easy Way. And there's still one more that I want after that. The next one after that is literally called the Billionaires Club. And that is my goal. But in order to do that, there's a few things I need to do first. So you basically track down the top dog of each of these. And then you span out and you basically cherry pick the creme de la creme at each one of these networking events. Now, you do not burn bridges. Mind you, your reputation is what's going to get you through this. Your reputation is based off of your energy. It is based off of your etiquette and your class. And it is based off of your kindness. Class matters. Now, I have my podcast mouth and I have my networking mouth. My podcast is where I literally let everything just kind of go. This is where my street comes out. This is where my opinions come out. This is me 100% unfiltered. It feels good. I need this space for me. It is my space for my mental health. I am well aware that I have a lot of opinions, I have a lot of anger, and I have a lot of aggression, and I am well aware that I do a lot of generalization. I am also learning. And if I am filtering, this is really important. If I am filtering and censoring myself, I'm not going to learn. Where is she? Where is she? I wrote it perfectly here. And I am the firm believer that if I wrote it perfectly once before, why would I ever try and rewrite something that was so beautifully said? Oh. How is your swearing tolerance? 24 hours, I'll give you. How is your tolerance for swearing, Mr. Shaw? So this is from Broken. This is what I wrote. And I love it so well because it is precise. He pulled out a recorder, checked its batteries, and positioned it between us. I waited until he was settled in before beginning. How is your tolerance for swearing, Mr. Shaw? Fine, I guess, he answered. If I am to tell you this, then I am telling this the only way I know how, I said sternly. He nodded attentively. At times, I will be vulgar, crass, and uncouth. I will be graphic, and I will be blunt and honest. Understand that if I attempt to censor myself, then there is a chance, a good chance, that I will not finish this. So I ask again, how can you handle? How well can you handle vile and vulgar? And that is it really right there. Censoring yourself, filtering yourself is the death sentence of learning and growth. This space is for me to learn. So I need to embrace all of my honest, ugly self. I do not adore, I do not condone polished perfection. I never once said I had that. So when I allow myself to drop everything and just show reality, I am raw and I am real. And I do have my prejudice. I am well aware of them, and every day I work on my mindset. I am not without flaw. Do not dare deprive me of my humanity. It's mine. I earned it. Now, that being said, I'm sitting here now looking at my life going, what about my reputation? I'm openly bashing the world's largest religion. Yeah, that's right, I am. I would not be true to myself if I tried to hide what I really think of Christianity. Now, if I meet a Christian on the street, I will be respectful and I will mind my mouth. And I will, and I do always have an open mind to explore that particular person without prejudice. And then I take the generalized summation of a whole. This is my professional opinion for sociology on this subject. When you are dealing with an individual, there is no room for prejudice. Every individual must be evaluated and judged with an open mind and accepted and received without prejudice. Prejudice has no room or tolerance in the space of an individual. Period. Now, sociologically, I love that word. Sociologically, on a whole, oh, I'm ripping apart Christianity. Am I directing this toward any one person? Abso-fucking-lutely not. If you listen to my videos and you are internalizing them, go to a therapist. Under no circumstances should you ever be internalizing a random person's YouTube videos when they are generically directed towards a society. The society does not have feelings. The society is not sentient. My fucking beef is with the Roman Empire, specifically the 4th century Roman Empire. So please, if Rome is in the house, stand up and confront me. Exactly. So, unless you are the Roman Empire, like really, this is not directed toward you. Unless you are the fucking assholes who designed Christianity into the nightmare that it is, by all means, please stand up. Otherwise, this is not meant for you. My anger is not at all directed towards you. It's directed to these fucking assholes, the Roman Empire from the 4th century. So this is my beef with a bunch of dead guys. You can laugh, Lizzie. This is my beef with a bunch of dead guys. So I feel I really do have to explain myself over this. And this is why. This is a vendetta that I never talk about. Yeah, I'm just gonna I need to get this out of my system because this is really where my anger is coming from. For 30 years, I studied history and sociology. And this is how my life work went. I'm reading things along. I'm sitting here reading history of the world and everything's going great. And then boom, Christianity and the Roman Empire decided to completely annihilate all of the documentation, burn it to the ground, and then they changed it. They just made my life a fucking hell. Because now I have to spend over 6 months to a year. I'm just going to summarize it this way. If Christianity and the Roman Empire did not exist, I would have only had to have studied for 10 years. They tripled the amount of work I had to do because of the amount that they burned, buried, and hid because of all of their fucking little lies. No other religion, no other culture has done this. Not the Taliban is now doing it. The Taliban is now doing it. I'm noticing that they're picking up habits from the Christian Empire. So I'm going, yeah. So when I'm sitting here research, for instance, when I sit down and I'm studying Chinese history, There you go. There's the history. Oop, there you go. Okay, this is nice. Thank you. I study Celtic history. This is nice. I'm studying Celtic history. I'm studying Irish history. I'm studying the Ogham rules. I got it all. I get so much data. Oh, look at all the information. And then I try and study French history, and boom, there's Christianity all over the place, and they've altered and doctored everything with their lies. Now I have to use massive amounts of psychology and logic to filter out all of their garbage, which takes me months. So instead of me just reading and getting data, now I have to unravel a bunch of narcissistic bullshit lies in the history books. Yeah, it's personal. It's personal because they made my 30 years of study in sociology a living fucking hell. And it's because the Roman Empire and the Christian Empire kept doctoring the history books. So yeah, I'm a little pissed off. So it's a personal vendetta between a scholar and the Christians who just love to doctor the shit. Now, if you want to be one of those Christians who loves to say things like, well, not all Christians are the same, you are right. And when I meet somebody individual on a face-to-face, fantastic. But you know what? You guys, nobody wants to come up with a new word for yourselves. You all just want to keep recycling the same Christian word over and over again. So Catholics call themselves Christians, Methodists call themselves Christians, Baptists call themselves Christians, Jehovah's Witnesses call themselves Christians, Mormons call themselves Christians. You're all calling yourself Christian. And there's no words that are separating you from the Ku Klux Klan Christians or the Hitler Christians or the Roman Christians or the Pope Christians or the asshole Christian who decided to literally deface thousands of pieces of artwork. Nor are you using a different word to differentiate yourself from Olaf Tryggvason, who was renowned for slaughtering children because their parents wouldn't convert to Christianity. So by all means, if you want to keep using the same word as all of these toxic, horrible villains, you're going to get lumped in. Come up with a better word for yourself. That's what I recommend, because you are looking at 2,000 years of a smear campaign over your own religion. You should probably abandon the word Christian at this point. Now, for anyone who wants to argue that Christians aren't that way anymore, Matthew Shepard. Google him. Yeah, I have a problem with Christians. For those of you who do not remember or were not there, Matthew Shepard was an LGBTQ boy, 16 years old in the 1990s, who it got out that he was gay, and the Christians in that culture slaughtered him, left him for dead, and then ransacked and raided his funeral so his family couldn't even grieve him properly. Yeah, I have a problem with Christian violence. That being said, when I meet somebody in person, I address the individual as an individual, and I will not pretend that this Christian empire is not responsible for the burning, mutilation, genocide of its bloodthirsty, disgusting history. Sorry, not sorry. I won't let people lie about themselves. If you have a problem with Christians past, you should probably come up with a better name for the religion, because at this point, it is a bloodbath. That being said, so Christianity in the Roman Empire made the study of sociology and history an absolute fucking nightmare, because they constantly were doctoring everything to make themselves look fantastic. So when you are looking at all of these things, reputation, influence, communication, visibility, maneuverability, reputation, I don't have a problem being reputed as the Christian empire. I really don't have a problem with being declared as the enemy of the Christian empire. I am perfectly fine with that title. Thank you. I own it. I think I just need to come right out and own it, as I am the official enemy of the Christian empire. I do know, because statistics exist. The Christian empire is responsible for more genocide than Hitler. So as far as I'm concerned, you're all walking around worshiping a guy, not Christ. I love Christ. I absolutely admire Christ himself. A religion. Yeah, by the way, yeah, I really need to come out and say, I actually very much respect and admire Christ. I love Christ. I absolutely adore that man. Like, it's so funny because Christ himself, I absolutely adore. It's the religion and the fucking filth that I have a problem with. I love the Bible. I had like 8 different versions of the Bible, and I read all of them. I absolutely love ancient texts. I love all ancient texts. I have a problem with the Roman mindset, which is just completely saturated in the Christian empire. I have a real problem with a lot of Christians today claiming the lies in the bloodbath is non-existent and that it's a perfectly pure religion. They're delusional. And I have had conversations with those Christians. Oh my God, have I. So here I am now going, here's my reputation. I remember this one conversation I had. We were it wasn't a PowerPoint, it was a panel discussion. And we were all going over everything. And I had brought up the burning of the books and the slaughtering of Ireland for the Roman Empire in the 17th century. And this one person in the audience, she was a Christian, and she's like, oh my God, why would you say such a thing? And 2 other people said, excuse you. She's right. You need to do some history looks. She was furious because she was so ignorant of the Christians' actual past. So they cited the information, they gave it to her, and they showed her, yeah, it's the entire burning and destruction of most of the books in Ireland, while they also slaughtered like 60% of the population. It's fucking disgusting. And it was 100% done in the name of Christianity. So if you are absolutely ignorant on the bloodbath that is a massive red trail of the Christian empire, it's like, seriously, start educating yourself. That being said, I'm sitting here and I can feel myself filtering, going, what's this going to do with my reputation? I am a pacifist. Ooh, 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 look at that. Oh, wow. Reputation. I am a pacifist. And I value all life. I speak and promote for education, truth, and I honor the billions of lives that were taken and slaughtered by Christians in the name of their garbage. Yeah. I have a problem with lies, deceit, deception, and ignorance because a person wants to avoid their own truth. I do not help people lie to themselves. I'm feeling good about this. This is me logically justifying myself that my reputation is, in fact, not on the line because I'm speaking honest to God, documented historical fact. And I'm a pacifist. I value all human life and animal life. I value all life. And believe me, when people say things like plants can feel the pain when you eat them, I have fucking guilt. You can laugh, Liz. I have fucking guilt. And I'm sitting there like, don't tell me that. I'm a fucking gardener. Like, I'm a fucking gardener. I've got 10 green thumbs. I'm the one going, who's my little baby plant? Who's my little baby plant? I have a plant in my kitchen right now, and it's got 5 yellow leaves. And this morning when I was getting my coffee, I went, oh no, I'm a bad plant mom. And here I am, my vegetarian self, eating plant. And I got some asshole going, plants feel pain. I have to eat. And I've exhausted all else that there is out there. You prove to me that a plant is sentient and we will talk. Good God, I cannot wait until the replicators come into existence. That way I can eat without guilt. I can see it now. I'm eating worm shit. By the way, dirt is worm shit. Dirt is worm shit. Dirt is worm shit. So I'm sitting here eating worm shit. I can see me eating worm shit. And someone's going to come along and go, worm shit has feelings. And I'm going to be like, no, don't do that. I can see this. I can see it. I can't even kill bugs without having guilt. It's horrible. I'm a pacifist. I'm a fucking pacifist. I value life. I value education. I value truth. Truth here is defined by my own personal truth and respectfully all of those truths that are out there. In addition to fact, what is and what did happen. I believe in honoring the actions and the behaviors of others. And I do judge the Christian empire. And I grew up hearing my Christian family telling me that that's in the past. Matthew Shepard. Literally a week after he was killed. And then his funeral ransacked. My uncle had the audacity to sit there and tell me that the bloodbath was in the past. Oh, well, those aren't real Christians. How dare you tell them that they aren't actual Christians because they don't mirror your personal belief. You need to come up with your own name. Bottom line, Christians have got to come up with a new name for themselves. They really need to. If you are a pacifist Christian who acknowledges the bloodbath and the barbarism of the entire Christian empire, you need to come up with a new name for yourself because you have got to accept that your Christian religion is completely saturated with genocide. Christians killed the Native Americans. Own your fucking religion or create a new one and sever yourself from the bloodbath of Rome. Bottom line, you are in fucking denial if you call yourself a Christian and also expect to be recognized as something different. It doesn't work that way, master of the subconscious mind. It doesn't work that way. I'm probably going to be on this soapbox for the rest of my life. This massive, I look at the logic, I look at the emotions, and I look at the behavior, and I judge you. We all do. We all should. This is how you stay safe. This is how you stay safe. I'm sorry, but judgment is a good thing. You should do it. You evaluate. That's what judging is. It's an evaluation. I stand by my reputation. And when I am a pacifist, I would be a fucking hypocrite if I accepted Christianity. I can't do it. It would be too fucking hypocritical of me. Oh my God. I can't condone the religion. I can't. Do I acknowledge that there are a very small fraction of people who are good people and good Christians? Yes. But they insist on calling themselves Christian. They really need to acknowledge their truth, their religion's truth, accept what they've done, what they're still doing, and come up with a new name for themselves. I am going to call these people, oh yes, I'm a linguist. Oh, I'm a linguist. What should we call you? Jesusins. Instead of Christians, it's Jesusins. There's no thought in that whatsoever. There was no educational thought in that whatsoever. Christians, Jesusins. You are a Jesusin. I actually like that. Let's think about this. Jesusin. A Jesus. A Jesusin. When I wrote it out, it spelled the word sin at the end, which is ironic. Just Jesusin. A Jesusin. No, I'm totally doing this. I'm totally doing this. Because no, Christian has been too ugly and too tainted. Christian is fucking ugly. We're going to come up with a new name for these people who are nice followers of Christ. Followers of Christ. You have to almost immediately abandon the word Christ. You almost cannot use the word Christ anymore. The word Christ, which is why we have Xmas, is because it is such an abusive taste in the majority of people's mouths. And if you're a Christian, welcome, reality check. Your religion is such a bloodbath, so abusive, that the majority of anti-Christians can't even stomach saying the word Christmas. I'm one of them. That is how much your religion has hurt other people. Own it. But that's the last thing that religion teaches you is responsibility. Oh yeah, gloves are coming off. I would be a hypocrite if I tried to pretend that I condone Christianity. I can't do it. I studied sociology. I studied Roman history. I was a Romanologist. For 20 fucking years, all I did was eat Rome. I know exactly what you did. Rome. Okay, now, a new name for these new people who follow Christ still, who follow Jesus. Jesus. See, I like Jesus. Jesus makes me happy. It's not his real name, but Jesus makes me happy. I like this. Oh, wait, what about Jesuit? I got to look up the word Jesuit again. Jesus. Jesuit definition. Member of the Society of Jesus, a Roman Catholic order of priests Founded by, ooh, this is nice. Founded by Saint Ignatius Loyola, Saint Francis Xavier, and others in 1534 to do missionary work. The order was zealous in opposing the Reformation. Of course they were. Despite periodic persecution, it had retained an important influence in Catholic thought and education. I'm going to call you Jesuits. Jesuits. Because the word, I believe, is retired. And there's almost no, and the only reason why I know the word is because I studied Roman history. So I know Jesuit. And I went, oh, it has been a while since I've looked at the Jesuits. I want to say you're a Jesuit, a new age Jesuit. I'm calling you that. That is your new name. Psychology 101. Logic. Integrity is logic plus the emotions you provoke plus the behavior and the actions of yourself. Compared to, this is integrity. Integrity compared to the words that come out of your mouth. All of that equals your name. Under no circumstance should a person ever give their name. A name is something that is given to you. Because if you decide what your name is and you put your name out there, now you're a liar. Now you are self-promoting. Now you are, I could totally break this down. There's nothing wrong with self-promotion. But if you are trying to build a reputation, well, your actions need to stand on their own feet. In order for your actions to stand on your own feet, you need to keep your mouth shut and allow the emotions, the energy, your behavior, and your integrity to speak for itself. That being said, I hereby name you New Age Jesuits. That's what I call you. That leaves a warm, fuzzy feeling in my chest now. So a New Age Jesuit is what I define as somebody who believes in the kindness and the philosophy of Jesus, and who also ethically upholds and embraces his ideals. Everybody else is a toxic Christian. Period. There, I feel better. Yes, New Age Jesuits. I feel really warm and fuzzy about that. That is the pet name that I am giving to the individual of a Jesus supporter, philosopher, or the supporters of Jesus. I feel good about that definition. Because bottom line, there's way too much poison and toxins that is way too embedded inside the Christian word at this point. And this delusion that Christians are flouting is garbage. You cannot be a narcissist and a Christian. Actually, you can be. That's exactly the definition, which is why most of the population doesn't like you anymore, is because you're fucking abusive. So a New Age Jesuit, don't you dare fucking claim that title. It has to be given to you. Listen to what people call you. That I want to enter into an age where names are something that you do not give people. They are something that is given to you based upon how you behave. I do this with every person I meet. Whenever I meet anybody, I punch it into my phone every single time, their first name, and then I make up something afterwards. The epic and the beautiful, the something. And I tell them, this is your name for me. I give you your name. Yes. So that's going to go into my phone from now on. When I meet somebody who is of that mind, I'm going to say, oh, you are a New Age Jesuit. Now, I've got one person, I have an interview coming up, supposedly. And already there's so much where I'm going, I really don't want anything to do with this person because there's just so much. I don't feel good about it anymore. It doesn't give me joy. It doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel good. So there you go. There's my answer. I'm probably going to cancel the interview. I am going to cancel the interview. And it's when you get to a point where you realize that a person's behavior needs to be what speaks for them. How they make you feel is what speaks to you. This is what you judge a person based on, is your logic, what makes logical sense to you, and whether or not they make you emotionally feel good, whether or not they have good emotional energy, and whether or not their behavior is good behavior. Are they acting like an asshole in front of you? Are they behaving or making you feel in such a way that you have to behave like an asshole around them? Those are the only three things that you should be focusing on, not the words out of their mouth. People lie. Subconscious minds are sick. Subconscious minds will say whatever they need to say to feel safe. So the words that come out of their mouth, 90% of them are just subconscious mind talking. But the behavior is almost always the identity. Almost always the identity. That tells you everything you need to know about a person. Look at their behavior and go by your own gut feeling of how they make you feel. Then you make up a name for them. Designate what their name is going to be. Don't let them tell you what their name is. Don't you dare let them tell you. Because when they tell you their name, it's just another word with lies. It's the mask. That's what a name is. When a person gives a name to you, it's a mask. It's not their truth. When you give a name to them, it's their name. This is why Native Americans and so many indigenous people had given names that they had to earn based off of their actions. Yeah, you just figured, yeah, my daughter's just like, oh, is that? Yeah, that's why. Is because you had to use actions and your emotions, your emotional energy to prove who you were. And then people gifted you with a name. That's the way it should be. So that when somebody comes along and gives you their own name, and one of the things, this is common in the burner community. In the burner community, people give you their name, your name. You don't get to choose it. It's a burner name. And every time you meet a burner, they have a different name. And the name that they give you is their burner name. They always give you, oh my God, I have so many people in my community. I have a gravity. I'm imagination. I have a gravity. I have a Trinity. And these names are their burner names. They were somebody at the Burning Man event evaluated their emotion energy and their logic and their character, their behavior. And then they said, this is your name. And you walk away from your very first burner event with your name that somebody gave you. And that is how you are known in the community for the rest of your life. It's a burner name. And it speaks volumes. The naming, oh my God, the psychology of naming is so, so vital to a person's character. And whenever you meet somebody and they say to you, oh, we're friends now. Oh, that's a red flag. That's a narcissism move if I've ever seen one. Whenever someone comes out and says, this is my name, and they just throw it out there, question that. Really question that. It's a red flag. So when somebody comes around and they flout any kind of a name that they've assigned to themselves, really take a step back from that and question it. It's really, really vital. And the other thing that's also really, really core to this is if they do give you a name, and watch them, watch how they are with it. One of the things I love doing is when I introduce myself as Anna, people are always, is it Anna or Anna? And I say, it's up to you. You pick. Like, you name me. What do you think? And I've got people will come up with names all over. I have so many names, and it's a gift. They are the most beautiful gifts that you can possibly get. My Queen of the Darkness was a name given to me. Queen of the Darkness was a name that somebody gave to me. All of my names were given to me. I don't own any of them. They were gifts. I love that. They were gifts. So it's very much, yeah, it's absolutely, it speaks volumes on their character. And it's something that to this day I practice, where I'll meet somebody and it's, which name do you want? I have many names. I have thousands of names. It's ridiculous how many names I have. So for me, somebody who is a true, honest to God admirer and respectful pacifist that actually carries out the philosophies of Jesus, I'm going to refer to that person as a New Age Jesuit, because the word Christ and Christian has left such a horrible taste in everybody's mouth at this point that it's just pure rage over all of the horrors that this thing has done. And to deny that it doesn't exist is just ridiculously offensive at this point. There's a lot of people who really need to just have a wake-up call of the absolute genocide and horror of what the Christian empire is really built on. And yeah, I'm absolutely there on that. So when it comes to reputation and you decide to make this massive speech like this, it marks your reputation. But what absolutely evaluates a person is, are they speaking out of hate? Are they speaking out of fear or phobia? Are they speaking out of logic? Is it valid? Is it valid? I have a fucking problem with people getting hurt. Bottom line. And I see the biggest culprit as religion. Religion keeps hurting people. I am the one who collects people and have people going, the amount of religious abuse. I was forced to do this, this, and this due to religion. Oh my God. I have seen more. It has made my life as a psychologist so difficult. And then to sit there and listen to a psychologist or anyone, a Christian, flout the grandeur of its religion, I'm going, you have no idea the destruction your religion has caused. Don't be in denial of this. So reputation is absolutely built off of, yeah, your integrity. How logical are you? What are your ethics? What are your values? Are you a hypocrite? Do you uphold your ethics, your values? Do you stand by? Can you logically support what you believe, what you value, what you love, what you want, what you desire? Are you behaving in accordance with your personal law? It's not a question. We do this a lot. You have your personal law and your behavior and ethics according to your personal law. And then you have the societal law. And when you measure a person, when you judge a person, you don't want to measure their behavior based off of somebody else's law, because that tells you nothing. That tells you that this person does not value this person's law. You want to take this person and measure their salt, their worth against their own ethics. Because if they are claiming that they're ethical and a pacifist and then turning around being violent, well, right there it is. That speaks everything you need to see. But if somebody is saying, yes, I'm a believer in Christ, or I'm a believer in Jesus, and they actually behave like Christ, they actually behave like that, okay, legit, now we're getting somewhere. But way too many people have seen that contradiction, and it leaves a really bad taste in everybody's mouth. And that's really it. Bottom line is, and there's narcissists and third perspectives who are Christians using the religion to control and manipulate. You've got fourth perspectives who are using it as an emotional prosthetic. You've got second perspectives who've got some significant codependency problems happening. So you've got codependents, narcissists, and emotional prosthetics and projections. And it's just like, is anyone here actually studying and practicing the religion for the right reasons? And bottom line is, I have yet to find one solid example of a Christian who's actually studying and practicing the religion for the right reasons. Not one Christian so far is healthy. Not one. Which just proves Carl Jung was right. Go back to Carl Jung. That the reason why we have a deity or a theology to begin with is because we are avoiding responsibility. These are Carl Jung's words. We are using theology to avoid our adult responsibilities. We are using religion as summarizing emotional prosthetics, basically transferring our emotional codependent needs and projecting those onto a deity. That is exactly what Carl Jung defined the purpose of all religion. He was right. And in all of my 30 years of study in psychology and status and everything that I've done, I have yet to find that he is wrong. He is solid on this. He's absolutely correct. So yeah, I stand solid by my opinion, and I am not concerned about my reputation. So when you have your influence and you've built up your influence bank, that is when you start making money. That is my hypothesis. Now I get to put this into action and watch it. And then I'm going to document and record the statistics. And then I'm going to share the data and the statistics with you. And then I'm going to tweak it and refine it and condense it down and make it even more simple and digestible. And then I'm going to give it to you. And you guys can do whatever you want with it. And it will be fun and delightful. And if it works, I will have a psychological formula to actually show you how to make money 101. Here is the psychological formula. And I think this is it. You need influence plus networking plus reputation equals money. Yep, I think that's it. All right. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.